Hi everyone, this is the lecture for the week of October 5th through 9th for Art and Design. This is going to be our mindful moment for Monday and Tuesday's classes. And this will be our mindful moment for our Thursday and Friday classes. So if you miss class or if I am out for some reason, these are what you should be doing the first 5 minutes of class. If it's the case that I'm out, I want you to do these for 5 minutes, and then in the reflection section of your process journal, I'd like you to just write your response of what you would say in the chat if we had been there. So please do that once you come to class, and after you watch this lecture, you'll still be able to do that. All right, so here's our agenda for Monday and Tuesday. And I'm going to go over it in a little bit more detail here in just a moment. But in our updates for Monday and Tuesday, I want you to first go... Let's go back. I want you to step out of the presentation or the video or whatever, and I'd like you to go to Schoology. And you can let me talk you here through it too. If you're listening to this on YouTube, I can just talk you where to go on Schoology. So you're going to go to our main page. And down here beneath the weekly schedule is the class meeting link, which we always have. Process journal number 2 submission, which will either say October 5th or 6th, depending on which course you're in. I just happen to be in my 3rd hour here because they're always the first one that I teach. And then I actually am in 5th hour. I do want to go to 3rd hour because, like I said, they're the first one I teach. They're the first one I update. I haven't even updated 5th hour yet. Okay, in 3rd hour, right underneath the process journal number 2 submission, you're going to see an Art and Design Teacher Survey. And this is especially important if my internet is not working because, as I said before, something's going on with it. And until Tuesday afternoon of this week, I will not have an Ethernet adapter. So my internet might be in and out, and I'm kind of working from my phone too when it goes out because that's all I've got right now. So we'll make it work. So right here, this will be your attendance today. This will be how I know you came to class. So it's a survey on how this course is going so far because I was kind of sitting this weekend saying to my husband, it's really frustrating because I don't know how I'm doing in class. It's easy when you're in front of people because you can see people's reactions and talk to people and get a better understanding for how everybody feels. But in this course, it's a lot different. It's harder to connect with people. For me, it's it just feels like a challenge to try to connect with you all on here, and I'm trying, but certainly I would love any of your kind, constructive critique on this. So we'll follow the critique rules here, and of course, please give me constructive feedback and know that I am trying my best, and I'm truly going to use this information to inform my classes so that maybe you're like, oh, nope, it's better. It's a good amount of work now. It's all good, Ms. Tabor. And I just want to know something that you've liked about the class so far, and then let me know anything that I can improve on. So maybe you say, oh, I really liked that question and answer session that you held last class. Can you do one of those every week? That would be a great thing to ask. Or maybe you say, Ms. Tabor, can you spend more time doing demonstrations and showing us new art techniques? That is harder to do. I have my ladybug and I can do it, but the problem is that there's a lot of questions and people that need help during class that would be a lot easier to answer if we were in person, but because it's digital, it's a little bit more challenging. But I really do want to come to a point where I will be demoing artwork for you. So those are the kind of things that I'd like to hear. I'd also like to hear anything else that I didn't suggest, like things that you're like, oh, I have this good idea, Ms. Tabor. Please tell me. I take ideas and use them for my classes. That's awesome. So there's that. We're going to go back to the daily presentation. I had to migrate away for a minute because we're in the welcome here, and in the welcome is the updates. So that's the course update. If you are still struggling with Process Journal, you have not turned it in, I'm about to enter my official grades. We have until Friday to do this, to do our progress report grades. So I still have a little bit of time. And I may or may not include Process Journal number 2 in the progress report, depending on how far I get in my grading this week, because I've got a lot of grading to do. So if you are still struggling with the Process Journal, please email me or ask me privately in the chat on the days that I run the help sessions. So I'm not going to run a help session today. It'll just kind of be like, ask me your questions if you need to, and I'll try to take care of you before we go. But I'm going to send everybody off to do work. But then Thursday I'll have a help session, and I'll hang out all hour, and maybe I'll try to draw for you then too. All right, moving on, because we have to speed along here. The October 7th agenda, you're just continuing to work on Process Journal number 3. If you were to be pacing yourself on Monday and Tuesday, you would only have to do, there's 4 parts of Process Journal number 3. You'd only have to do part 1 on Monday, and it's really short and simple and easy. It's as simple as washing your hands, literally, and then reflecting on it. So that's all you'll have to do Monday. Wednesday work, you'll do part 2. And then Thursday, you'll do parts 3 and 4. Thursday, Friday. And I will give updates in class on the video that day. So I'm trying to give you all the updates for the week today, but there might be other updates that will come on the video in class on Thursday to Friday, just so you're aware. But you're continuing to work, and there will be a release with a Q&A session as I planned before. So our objectives for this week are to participate in a class critique, practice mindful art independently with tutorial videos as a guide, create a finished piece based on an unfinished or incomplete artwork, and complete a reflection based on the artwork throughout this. So you will be reflecting more than one time in this Process Journal assignment. You have to reflect after every part. So there's no tricks here. There's no worksheets or reading. You're just working through these short tutorial videos. This is a set of videos that I developed this past summer. During all of the COVID stuff, they asked for teachers to record different video sessions. So this was kind of like my very rough first go at teaching this mindfulness lesson on video. Usually it is a lesson that I teach in person, and it goes very well, and it's super cool to share the experience with other people in class. So I hope that you can get a decent experience out of it at home. My DP Art juniors are currently working on this assignment actually too. So I'm really excited to share it with my art and design class digitally. So let's talk about the vocabulary this week. We're talking about mindfulness, and we're also talking about line. So we're thinking about the lines that we're making. So a line is a mark on a surface that describes a shape or an outline. It can create texture. It can be thick or thin. It's a series of connected points. So actual, implied, vertical, horizontal, diagonal, contour. Lines that I are not on here, so there's just some examples from lines so that you can get an idea. But a implied line is a line where you're doing artwork and it's making it look more realistic in 3D. So we're going to work on that this semester, but I want to introduce you to line here because we're going to be talking a lot about line when we're making our lines with our paint and our markers and colored pencils and whatever else it is you're going to try to use. So this is our critique guidelines here, and it's a little bit different from last time. So you're going to go to, we're going to have a Google slideshow instead of the media album because last time it just didn't work well. And you need to comment on at least 5 other people's works, and please limit the amount of original comments on people's to 7. The replies don't count. And then here are some copy and paste prompts for you to choose from. So your sketch notes, you're going to want to have your sketch notes out in front of you for the critique so that you can start filling these in with these answers here. So those sketch notes are going to help you, especially the elements and principles. So like this artwork uses the elements of design by adding line and composition in a way that is visually pleasing. Okay, that is an answer for that. All right, so play with these, plug them in with the different words from the elements and principles of design tables that you copied into your notes. And we're going to spend about 20 minutes looking at people's artwork and then making comments. And how you comment on a Google slide is you just simply come over here, and there's two ways. So this button right here, add comment. If you're not clicked on anything, what am I clicked on? If you're not clicked on anything, this pops up, and then you can comment on it. And then you just hit comment there. So that's how you will comment. But another way you could do it is to right click and then comment from there too. Okay. All right. Moving right on. So once you finish the critique, you'll take a few minutes to update your process journal to add the comments that people made on your work. So you'll copy and paste the comments in your notes section of your process journal, and you'll just label it. So you'll put it underneath the link to your worksheet, and you'll just put, these were the comments that people left me, and then you'll paste them in there. You can make it the font smaller in there so that they'll all fit in there. It doesn't have to be huge. And make sure you've completed all the reflection questions for process journal number 2. And then you will go to Schoology, and just right above this teacher survey, you'll click on this and you'll submit your process journal there. So this is the first time that you're actually submitting it. Oh, I do see some people have submitted. Make sure you unsubmit because you want to make sure you get your comments in. So take those away so that you can get that. But the instructions are in here. So you can go through the instructions one more time and make sure you did everything. And then you can submit it here. So mine probably looks different from yours, but that is where you'll submit it, is this link here. Back to this. All right, so to do for this week is just kind of bringing it all back together here. You're going to complete part 1 before Wednesday on the Mindfulness 4-part series. You'll complete parts 2 and 3 by Friday, and I would say do at least 3 drawings or paintings for parts 2 and at least 3 for part 3. You can always do more because you're going to use one of those for your part 4 for the final piece, and I'll explain it as we go along in the series, in the videos. You will choose one of those to use. So let's say you did a bunch of them and you still don't really like them. You can do a couple more and then use those. So you'll be taking pictures of all the ones that you did. So you're going to have a lot of photos in your process journal this week, and that's okay. You might have to copy and paste some more photo slides on. I want to see every single one that you do. Obviously, you can't show me a picture of you washing your hands. If you do, hats off to you. That's super creative and I love it. Do it more. But if you don't, if you don't, it's totally fine. But try to document this whole process. So every time you finish a painting or a drawing, just, when you're finished with that part, take photos of everything that you did. So when is this whole, look at that, I messed up, process journal number 3 due? It's going to be at the start of class on either Thursday the 15th or Friday the 16th, depending on your block, whether you're a Thursday or Friday person. So all of next week, you'll continue working on finishing up your final piece. So you'll have a week to work on your actual final finished work for this. So parts 1 through 3 are just practice, and you'll take pictures. And then part 4 is the actual final finished piece for this process journal that is due the end of the week next week for another critique. That all rhymed very well. Let me know if you need me. Email is best, and Remind is second best. Schoology messages are a hard third in my book because I just am not used to checking it that much. So, And all right, that is it, everyone. If you need me, like I said, please let me know.